How do we follow from this? But I do clearly, the supporting acts for the product update are getting better every time, clearly. Anyway, I only have a relatively short slot for you today, and it's a couple of different updates, a bit varied, a little bit of everything. So first is a follow-up on the DDoS mitigation services that we already talked about at the previous one. I'm not sure why I mentioned maps. I like mentioning maps, so we're going to talk about that. You already had the presentation from Digital Realty before. This kind of links in with that. And then a quick one about changes on the portal. That's more like a public service announcement rather than anything else. So Mo already mentioned that we have listened and done some improvements on the way we implemented the RTBH implementation on LINX to make it a little bit easier to actually get your prefixes to pass the prefix validation. It is available on all of the LANs. That service is free of charge. You can use it or don't. That's what it is. I'm not sure I'm going to go through this one again. We've went through this. You all know how RTBH works on internet exchanges. There's nothing new. We haven't invented anything new. What we call LINX Protect Plus is, and again, nothing new. We mentioned it before. This is really proper DDoS mitigation. It's a scrubbing-based solution for your peering traffic. And again, I want to be very clear, this is not competing with generic, I don't mean generic in a bad way, with general DDoS mitigation solution that allow you to protect all of your network. This will always, if anything, it will help you mitigate denial of service attacks that come to you through links, through your LINX peers. So it's never going to be a replacement for third-party commercial DDoS mitigation services. But there are a lot of use cases, and we get asked it quite a lot from a number of members. Is there anything more we can offer them rather than the rather brute force RTBH-based solution, which really just you complete the attack. That's in the end, that's all what you do, since you take down the host that's under attack. Whereas this one is a proper scrubbing-based solution. So we're doing this together with Nokia, specifically their deep field product. It is a relatively, it's a very fast protection, i.e., since what you have to consider, and we're going to go through how it works. The platform obviously has no visibility of your traffic ahead of any attack, since it's only going to see the traffic once you redirect the traffic through the scrubber. So it needs to be able to very quickly identify the traffic that it wants to filter out. And it works. It's fully under your control. We don't filter anything on the peering LAN. It's all, we just redirect it to the scrubber. The way it works, in the end, it works very similar to how RTBH works. Currently, in the first version, you have to use the root server. You announce in normal operation, you announce your prefix to the root server. Nothing changes. This is normal operation. If you think you're under attack, what you're going to do is you're going to announce, and the main difference to RTBH is, since it's a scrubbing-based solution, there is no need to go and announce the /32. Just announce your regular prefix that you know will get accepted by your peers, since there's no point. One of the main issues with RTBH is if you announce a /32, even if we accept it, doesn't mean that all of the other root server peers are going to accept it, since it is a /32. You don't have to do that here. You just announce your prefix. The root server changes the next hop to the scrubbing host. The root server also announces the real next hop to the scrubbing host. All of your traffic goes to the scrubber, and only the clean traffic passes through to your port. This is a little bit about the deep field platform behind it. There is another presentation a little bit later after me from Nokia exactly about this, so they're going to talk much more about a lot of the functionality and the capabilities of the platform. You can also go out and see them on their stand where they can give you a demo of it. So where are we with this now? All of our testing is complete, successfully completed. It is now in production on LON1. We're actually using our own network 5459 as the first customer of the service. We're not going to fully launch it as a product initially, but we're looking for people who are happy to give it a try and work with us, set them up in a bit of a trial, and then we hope to launch it completely in early 25. That's DDoS mitigation. Maps, very quickly. I just like mention it. It's probably one of, it's quite a popular service for us. Obviously, it's a niche group of members who use it, especially smaller networks. Quite a lot of the map service that we have sold are sold through resellers. We have some where the networks, more enterprise-style networks, they don't even have a /24. They just announced a /29 to Microsoft. Works perfectly fine. It's available wherever we have Microsoft available. It's always fully redundant, and you don't have to talk to Microsoft to get peering with Microsoft. That's a benefit, isn't it? Don't have to log into the Azure portal once. A digital realty service fabric, so already got mentioned. You will be able to, if you are in a digital realty data center, and especially if you're in a digital realty data center where LINX is not present, and you're using their service fabric, you will be able to just go to the service fabric, order peering to start with on LON1. You will pay digital realty for the bandwidth to get to LON1. You pay us for the peering service on LON1. So basically what you do is you replace your physical port with your port at Service Fabric and connect to LINX. So that's going to be available relatively soon. We're just in the final steps of setting that up. And again, obviously, if you were in a digital realty data center where we are, connect directly. If we're not there, you can use Service Fabric as one of the many ways to connect to LINX. Last one, user contacts. This had nothing to do with the recent problem of us contacting a member. This actually was running in parallel. As you know, in the portal, you can update your users, which are really the contacts we have for you throughout our service, throughout our platforms. There were a number of issues, and again, we're 30 years old. Some of our data and some of our data structures are probably 30 years old. Initially, many years ago, LINX really, for every member, we had one peering contact, one NOC contact, since that was how the data structure looked like. That's the peering contact for this member. That has changed over time. As you know, in the portal, you can give any user that you have a certain role, which could be peering, which could be the NOC. That meant that over time, we didn't really know. We publish who are the peering contacts, who are the NOC contacts, and a lot of you use it, and actually it's an MOU requirement. So we publish a list of contacts, but we publish one peering contact, one NOC contact for every member. The ones we chose was basically the first one in the database. We couldn't really predict which one we would show. That was a bit of an issue. We have addressed that as a number of other issues. You can now go into the portal, go to your users, your contacts, your users, your accounts, and tell us which one is the one that is the primary one, which one is the one that you want us to use. It's very simple. You just go set primary, verify your roles. Currently, what we have done, since we needed to pick one, we've picked the one that we are currently shown in the NOC contact list. So go and have a look at them. There's some other improvements we have done. Certain roles, like guardian, authorizer, voter, obviously they really should be a person. We don't want NOC at company.com as the guardian. That's not a guardian, that is a group contact. So again, those things are now enforced in the portal. We've done some data cleanup on those things, and it won't let you change the type of contact or select a contact, which is a group for certain roles. And that's pretty much all I have. Any questions about any of these? No? Quick and short. Thank you.